the baby can be infected with HIV at 3 different stages. The first stage is during pregnancy. Right? This is rare. It does happen, but it is rare. The second point at which a baby can be infected with HIV is during birth. And the third is during breastfeeding. So these are the 3 areas in which a baby can be infected with HIV. But we know that again, the body design is amazing. This is the placenta. On the one side you have the mother, on the other side you have the baby. Under normal circumstances, no blood ever crosses this line. And because no blood crosses this line, the baby is not infected in the womb. Because there is no contact between the baby's blood and the mother's blood. How many people here know your blood group? Huh? You know your blood group? You know your blood group? You know? Okay. How many of you know your mother's blood groups? Do you have the same as your mother? You do? No, you don't. How is that possible? Because we don't necessarily have the same blood type as our mothers. And if there was a blood exchange all the time, you would have died in the womb. Because different blood types can or can't work together. So your blood type is O negative, and your mother? AB. Now AB cannot work with O negative. And there would have been a problem. Huh? Someone who's AB cannot give blood to someone who's O negative. Someone who's O negative cannot give blood to someone who's AB. I'm O positive. O positive is the universal giver. A positive is the universal receiver. So you are A positive. So I could give blood to you, but you can't give blood to me. So different blood types mix or don't mix. And the placenta protects us. The placenta protects us. So because there is never this mixing of blood, you don't have a problem. However, if there is a complication during pregnancy, then there can be damage of the placenta. And if there's damage of the placenta, then there can be a connection between the baby and the mother's blood. And that's always bad news. Not just in the case of HIV. It's always bad news. You know, we used to in the past, I don't know whether it still happens today, but if before two people got married, they used to insist that they had to have blood tests. Not for HIV, but to check what their blood type was. To see whether it's good for these two people to have babies or not. Huh? It used to be, does it still happen? I think it's because we now know of different ways of dealing with issues. So today, you can give birth by cesarean section so that there's no mixing of the blood, things like that. So it's not as complicated as it was in the past, because if there was, in the past, if there was a mixing of mother and child's blood and they were not compatible, the baby could die. So now we know the placenta protects the baby from the mother's blood. Is there anything that we can do to make sure that we protect the health of the placenta and that we protect the baby during pregnancy? Is there anything we can do? So we could give the mother ARVs. Huh?
I don't know whether it's ARVs.
It's ARVs.
Yeah.
We can give the mother ARVs. Why would we give the mother ARVs?
To make the virus go down.
Sufficiency. Huh? So if we give the mother ARVs, then we reduce the sufficiency. And so then the risk of transmission drops. Huh? Is there anything else?
Counseling.
Counseling. Tell me more.
Yeah, how to go with the African so that you could not be accepted that.
So I would say we call that ANC. Antenatal care. A woman must go to an antenatal clinic and there she receives antenatal care. And they can check on her health and they can check on the health of the baby. These are part of the reproductive health services that we can provide to women. And it comes in the form of antenatal care. Huh? So that means we can tell the woman of things that she needs to do to look after her own health and after the baby's health, so that we can guarantee that the baby stays healthy during pregnancy. And there are all sorts of things. Huh? There's all sorts of things that you
do at the whole level.
Antenatal care. So this is where a woman goes and they weigh her and they see, who was saying heavy blood? Was it you? Huh? So this is where they can say to a mother, your blood is light. Your blood is light. You must have more iron, because it's not good for the baby. Your blood is light. Or they see that you're carrying too much weight, and they say, this is dangerous. You must lose a bit, because it's not good for the baby. The birth is going to be complicated if you're too big. Or they can see, you're retaining too much liquid in your legs, and you're swelling up. So what can we do? You've got to lie down, you've got to elevate your legs so that the blood can, and the water can flow. All of these things they tell you during an antenatal clinic visit, where you get this antenatal counseling. And the antenatal counseling also gives you counseling about childbirth.
It's only for the woman or
No. She can take the husband or the man with her. She's allowed to. Yes.
Actually, it's a campaign. Actually, it's a campaign. They have to go. The whole couple.
They have to go.
They have to go, but the problem
They
is
can go. They have to go.
the problem is
They refuse to go
They say, I was part of making the baby. I've done my job. I've done my job.
There's something that happens when you go to the clinic and you go to the antenatal care. Sometimes they see that there is difficulties in the womb. They tell you to go and call the husband. Actually, the husband doesn't come 100%. One in the hundreds. They don't agree. And then the woman goes back to the doctor.
Hey! And we're back with Tamar.
So we have to insist and tell the man who are in this area now, the men who are learning here now, they have to go and tell the other men that we have to take our wives to the clinics. You see, you just be free, and you have to start with you, Pastor. Pastor, why? Yes. You know, it's nice and it's sweet when the husband takes the woman to the clinic. That now makes the woman be free. And she knows that I'm somebody's wife, no? But these men now, after everything, they pass away this way.
and even at the clinic, they try to make it easier for service for the woman who has come with the husband. First, they are being saved. It's like it's a motivation. It's a motivation. Yeah, it's a motivation. You go with your husband.
You front of the lines.
Yeah, first. Yeah.
Because the men can't wait.
Yeah, they can't wait.
No. So this is, and what happens is that the man then understands some of the complications. So for instance, a woman who is beaten during pregnancy has a greater risk of damage to the placenta. If a woman is beaten during pregnancy, it can damage the placenta and it can put the baby at risk. Now the man needs to understand that. And they'll tell the man that. If a woman arrives at the antenatal clinic and she's got a bruise here and another bruise here, then they will say, go and fetch the man. Go and fetch your husband. So that, they can say this. Because the baby's health is not just about the woman. Pastor, you're suffering. Today you're suffering.
We have what we call the division of labor.
Division of labor. But I think that
dominates women.
I think our country now is growing. And there's a time that will come, the husband should go with the wife to the labor ward. There's a time that will come.
Yes.
But do we Africans have that love? Of trying to know how painful it is when my wife is getting back. That brings love, a lot of love in the house. But will they succeed to live there?
So I think this is one of the effects of globalization. So Western countries trying to bring problem to Africa. And I think that's not the way
Excuse me just a minute.
Okay. Pastor, let me tell you one thing. Pastor,